All due respect, why do you feel like I need to look excited or whatever the case may be? Why not just make it happen for all the belts, no matter what?
Oh no, we're gonna do that.
Good. That's it. That's all right,
as long as
If it
makes sense.
No, of course.
And I know you already said you come to Charlotte. That's beautiful because
I'll fight you on Jupiter if I got to.
Hey, I told Eddie if someone pulls out, I'll fight this weekend. Regardless of the cut. I'll fight this weekend, but no one's
Do you respect Devin as a champion in your division?
Do
you respect him as a champion in your division?
Yes, of course I respect him. I always have respected him, and he knows how much I've respected him, and there is a mutual respect here. But if things go right, and the dotted line obviously gets signed by both sides.
Is this the true undisputed? Is this the true undisputed right here?
Look, we're gonna get it done, and you know what? There won't be any more
dispute.
games or bullshit about what it is. So
why do you think Devin has been so much avoided? Why do you think he's been like one of the most avoided fighters like out there?
He's a talented guy. No disrespect there. That's not my business. Maybe they can't get the right fights.
Look at my interviews before the fight. I wasn't saying, oh, Tio gonna thrash him or nothing like that. I said, man, Tio don't look too good to me. I don't know if Tio gonna win because I was talking to him. I knew how focused he was. I'm like, man, I don't know. I was actually gonna go bet on him. I'm fucking pissed still to this day. No, for real, I'm pissed to this day that I didn't bet, but I had to work out, so I couldn't time it right. But man, it's all good.
Look,
so
I was a dog in that fight, and you know what?
You know what I said though? I'm gonna make it back because we're gonna do it for the belts, and I'm gonna get all the money back.
So if Devin agrees to fight you in Australia,
I'm gonna make more.
Listen,
all the belts.
if Devin agrees to fight you in Australia,
we gonna make it make sense.
if Devin agrees to fight you in Australia, is there any chance you'll turn it down at all?
If he agrees to fight in Australia,
yeah.
like I said, as long as it makes sense with everything else, 110%.
I'll
fight anybody.
We gonna get past December 4th.
Yes. We're gonna make it happen. Focus.
What's good, family? So mash the like button, subscribe and lick off the bell. Wow. So your man's Devin, no power having ass Haney, pulled up on George Kambosos. But listen, my doggy, I can't lie to you. Listen, let me tell you something right now. Your man the YB ain't no shill, so I'm gonna be honest. In fact, I've stayed honest. I didn't know even a little bit about George Kambosos until this weekend. However, I give credit where credit's due. And on that basis, my doggy, yeah? George Kambosos is now what we call the YB's doggy. 100%. Yeah? George Kambosos stay the YB's dog right now. Because I've heard a number of things which I'm going to cover on this channel over the next few weeks from George Kambosos. And he's saying all the right things. And the fact that he turned up and stuck it on Teofimo, no games, all that, and especially when Teofimo came for it as well. Yeah, for example, it's easy to stick it on someone if they're all nervous looking. For example, it's easy for Usyk to stick it on Anthony Johnson because he was scary. Now, I'm not saying Usyk wouldn't have been able to stick it on AJ if AJ was aggressive, but the point is, Kambosos stuck it on Teofimo when Teofimo was gunning for blood, if that makes sense. That's the hardest way to do it. To beat someone bigger than you, who's allegedly better than you, all at 13-1 underdog, to come into there at 13-1 underdog against a man who looked like, no word of a lie, Teofimo looked like a size and a half. And to have a man a size and a half and 13-1 on, go in there with throwing heavy shots, committing to the KO, and to show that man no respect and to chip his whiskers, yeah? To end up touching his fragile Amir Khan chin and putting him down in the first round, showing him no respect, that to me gets respect. Not only that, not only have his actions been on point, also the things he's saying. Guess what? Teofimo, Gervonta Tuck Davis, Ryan Calvin Klein, yeah? Ryan Hugo Boss, yeah? Ryan Hugo Boss, not a bit of a boxer, Garcia, all these scary asses don't want to fight each other. And I'm not, you know what? I'm not including Devin Haney in that, because to be fair to Haney said he want Tank. Haney said he want Tio. And don't forget, people, it's the thing that makes me laugh about Teofimo. Teofimo unifications supersede mandatories. So Teofimo could have said, Kambosos, sit down somewhere. Me and Haney are about to get it quick. Yeah? Teofimo didn't say nada. Because he stayed playing games. And that's what happens, you see. When you're a play game having ass, you get touched. And Kambosos, to his credit, came out. And now, thankfully, a true champion has the belts. Yeah? So far, George Kambosos is a serious breath of fresh air. I'm sick of these funny style dudes with big mouths like Teofimo, like Tuicafimo Lopez, both of them, senior and junior. Stay talking, get in there and flap. We got no power having ourselves. You've got no power. About you going to get a first round knockout and get chinned. Yeah? Amir Khan looking ass. About first, listen, never mind first round KO. You want to make it through the first round. What's wrong with these guys? Oh man, I'm gonna knock Kambosos out in the first round. What you meant to say is, I'm gonna try and not get knocked. I'm gonna try and make it through the first round. I'm gonna try and not get knocked out in the first round. Bit goofy ass. Yeah. But anyway, the point is, you saw the video. Your man's George Kambosos and Devin Haney. Devin, no power having ass Haney, pulled up. Because listen, YB, you was just giving Devin Haney credit. Why is he called no power having ass? Listen, I can give you credit. That still doesn't take away from the facts. Yeah? I can give you all the respect. Devin Haney may want smoke. But still, he's a no power having ass. And we know this because, guess what? It was awkward, I can't lie to you. When Devin Haney went 50-50 with Linares, afterwards, Devin Haney was begging it, asking him. It reminded me in a way of Caleb Plant and Alvarez. You know when Caleb Plant was begging Alvarez in the ring, oh, you got a lovely wife and I'm looking to make it back to my wife tonight, and you know, me and my wife are hoping to have kids in the future, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Caleb Plant was trying to soften up Alvarez. Yeah, appeal to the softer side of Alvarez. But my point is, guess what? Devin Haney, no, Mr. AK, Mr. No Power Having Ass, Devin Haney was talking after the Linares fight. He was asking him, "Oh, have I got power? Have I got power, dude?" And Linares, obviously being polite, gassed him up and was like, "Yeah." Anyway, 2-2s. A week later, or a few days later, in fact, I think it was a few minutes later, Linares, someone said, "Oh, what was Devin Haney talking about?" And Linares punked Haney and said, "Listen, I just told him that. He ain't got no power." Oh, it was peak, man. It was peak. It was super duper peak for Devin Haney. But anyway, fair play to him. Listen, if you've got no power and you still want to get it, I'll give you full credit for that. Yeah? Because there's no telling how you're going to get touched. But anyway, listen. The point is, Miss Devin no power having Haney and George Kambosos, they pulled up on each other. Because I'm not going to sit there and say one pulled up on another, because they're both that guy to me compared to the rest of the division, that's for sure. And essentially, it sounds like this fight going to happen. Now, all I'm going to say is, you two men right now are riding high. Just don't drop the ball. Especially George, because right now, George, you're in my top books. Right now, even though I don't rate George Kambosos' skills, like for example Alvarez for me is number one. Yeah, Alvarez for me is just one of the ultimates. Is George Kambosos that level of skill? Absolutely not. So I'm not on that level. I'm not feeling Kambosos, but on all the other levels, on the mental levels, this guy's the guy. I wish he can have them skills of Alvarez. I'd love to see an Alvarez. For me, it's almost, I'd love for George Kambosos to put his head on Gervonta Davis's body and skills, if that makes sense. That's what I'd like to see. Instead, we got Tuck Davis, scary ass. Yeah? He got power, but he's still scary. The worst combination. Because at least people with no power who are scary, they've got an excuse. But imagine having power and still being a scary ass. It's embarrassing. Yeah? Tuck Davis is an embarrassment to the sport. Meanwhile, real men handle real work. Now, there is some allegations, or there is some whisperings, that Floyd Mayweather is going to try and jump in there and secure the Kambosos fight versus Tank Davis. Why? Because they see it as an easy touch. And I can't lie to you people. I rate Tank. And I do think Tank would beat Kambosos. Even though I'd love nothing more. I'd love for Kambosos to whoop the scary out of Tank Davis. I'd love for that to happen. I'd love for... And that for me, seriously, if George Kambosos beat Tank, for me, he'd be number 2 pound for pound. Simple as that. If George Kambosos beats Tank, after having beaten Teofimo as well, that's a number 2 pound for pound behind Alvarez. Simple as that. Yeah? Honestly, I'd love for him to do it, but I just don't see it myself. I think Tank hits too hard, and he's just too sturdy. Even though, but then again, his mind's weak. Who knows? Who knows what happens if Kambosos can drag him into deep water? Same as Teofimo. But like I said, there are some talks that Devin Haney and Kambosos won't happen because Lou DiBella is fixing to get the bag and sell out to Mayweather, essentially. But hopefully, listen, Kambosos, if you ever hear this, remember, you are in charge. These guys work for you. Yeah, Lou DiBella is down bad. If Lou DiBella try pull anything fast, tell him, listen, you ain't got no stable of fighters. If you want to keep me, I suggest you fix up. Yeah, and get me the Haney fight. That said, there is an argument at YYB. If he can make more money fighting Tank, he should do that because he needs to make money. Well, I mean, to be honest, they're both good fights. In fact, you know what? To be honest, they're both good fights. I guess the argument is, yeah, but they're not undisputed. But for me, guess what? If the winner of Tank and Kambosos fights Haney, who really cares? It's only 6 months later, and they're both great fights. Now, I guess the argument is, well, Gervonta Davis ain't going to fight Haney. Well, so be it then. If Tank Davis runs off and drops the belts, then Haney will get the belts anyway. So, let's say it plays out anyway. I'm there for both of the fights. But really, I think Haney and Kambosos fight, and then the winner of that fight, let's see if Tank wants that guy. Because let's say Kambosos beats Haney. I don't know. Bear in mind as well, people, we all thought that Kambosos would lose to Teofimo at 13-1. So we just don't know. This guy, Kambosos, he's saying the right things. He's saying that he wasn't even half of himself. So I'm intrigued to see what he's got. No doubt.